Hello Intuitors, it's Aria here, and I'm just about to get into doing a reading for everybody by their Zodiac sign. It will be essentially a love forecast for 2019. I'm kind of focusing in on a time period of about 6 months because I plan on doing the reading again maybe once every 3 months or so to see how things are changing. But this is like a long-term love forecast for a larger period of time. However, I will say that I do expect that for every person, it might unfold a little bit differently timing-wise. For some of you, this story might unfold in a really, sooner time frame than 6 months, and some of you it might be farther out. I kind of look at it as the bell curve. So what I'm going to do at the end of the reading, make sure you stay tuned all the way till the end because I'm going to do a really fun pick a card reading that will give you a time frame that gives you a better idea, a sense of how and when this might unfold, because I know a timing question is something that I most often get. When do you see this likely to happen? I will have to say, however, that as a card reader, not only for myself but for others, I have found that because we all have free will choice, and because the energies that are being looked at any given time in a situation can always change based on the choices that you make or the choices the other person makes, that the timing can always be a tricky thing. And so understand that anytime we're looking at a timing situation or even any situation that's being painted in the cards, if it really resonates inside of you and you really feel the truth of it, then it's pretty likely that this is the course that you're truly on at this time, and that if no major decisions are changed, or like some of the things that you have free will choice in or that they have free will choice in, if there's no major changes in those, like where they're headed, that's the direction you guys are going. But of course, as human beings, we do have a tendency to, have monkey wrenches thrown into things. Maybe something else comes along that you didn't expect or see. And so, that can always change the outcome. But at any given time, I think it's actually a very useful tool to take a look at a card reading and say, okay, where are things headed right now? Because if I don't like this story, what can I do to change this? Or if I would like to see this occur, what can I do to make sure that it stays on course? So basically that's how you can use these readings. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, rising, or your Venus as well in case one of these readings doesn't really resonate with you. Maybe the other one will. Or maybe you'll get more details from one of the other readings as well. Alright Taurus, I really screwed up on your guys' reading. I had it done, I even posted it, but there was a point in there where I was supposed to edit out my daughter interrupting me, and I went ahead and deleted it off of YouTube, but I had also just deleted the video completely off of my phone and my computer, and so I cannot bring it back in any way, shape, or form. So, if you can never reproduce the same reading twice. So if any of you did watch, I think it was about 50 views on it. If anybody did watch that video and you came back later, you want to see it again, I really apologize. Instead, you get a completely new reading. And without any further ado, let me go ahead and create this for you. Okay, so again, my deepest apologies because I'm sure this reading will be completely different and maybe it will resonate with you, maybe it won't, vice versa. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. It is a beautiful reading. I will say this, that if you did see the other one, I think you'll probably even like this one better, and maybe you've got some takeaway from each of these readings. Again, watch your sun, or in addition to your sun, watch your moon, your rising, and your Venus in case one of the other readings resonates more than this one does. In the very beginning here, we have love in front and center, and that's beautiful to see. We have the writer next to it. You couldn't have a happier combination. There's momentum toward love. The writer is a messenger. There's a message of love. There's a love message on its way, and it's been growing for a long time. The tree is about things that take time to develop over time. So if you feel like you've been on the verge of love for a very long time with a particular person, or it's someone new coming in, and you've been waiting for it for a very long time, things are really about to take shape in 2019. I'm very happy to see that. This is where you're at right now. This is where you're headed. You're headed toward a very happy home. The sun and the home, that sun and the house together talk about, beautiful things at home. Everything that you would really ever want to have happen in your home situation is happening. The clouds do show up here, but it's just really to say that if you have any uncertainties or uncertainties and confusion may arise at times, but the sun is always going to just melt that away, like the sun being the, good and beautiful things that, really are meant to happen for you in your life. And so you can, and in your home situation. So I feel like there's definitely a committed relationship coming up for a lot of you. The scythe and the cross and the tower talk about, first of all, the scythe is very sudden and happens quickly, unexpectedly. And the cross and the tower are about, the tower is your deep past and things from your past. I feel like it could be someone, because the rider has a lot of momentum, and the rider is someone, coming in for love. And it's also just the suddenness of it. Oh, by the way, this is, I forget to say, this is your suggested action. And so I'm feeling more, though, that this is something that will happen to you. It could be that if it's something that you should do, it's you cutting something. So there's a couple of different meanings to this, which I'll read for both of those. And both may apply, or only one may apply to you, depending. I'm feeling that for some of you, this is something that happens to you. Someone suddenly comes in from your past, and it's destined. It's a destined connection. But then for some of you, it is that you actually need to cut away something from your past that has been a burden. So, and it actually could be both. You could have, both of this could happen. If you have something that's been growing for a long time or been around for a long time, and it's been a burden for you, that you need to cut away, you need to just, you need to do it, because cutting it away will make room for, something better to come in. And it's something you have been wanting, it has been growing for some time, but you still have to cut away something that's been a burden to you to make room for it, because otherwise there won't be room for this love to come in. This love is coming in really quickly. It could be the love comes in and it's what prompts you to make that cut. I'm feeling that very suddenly. I'm feeling that very strongly, that that's going to happen with the most of you. And then also in some cases, this is kind of parallel to this, because the tower and the tree are feelings from, deep and long growing, the love, and the cross, it's a destined love that comes in very suddenly, and it comes with a lot of momentum. So I feel like it really is both for all of you here. The outcome being so beautiful, you end up with a lovely, you end up living together. There's a sense of, I don't know, I don't see the commitment yet, but actually let's go ahead and pull these cards here. Destined Love, I knew it. And the woman in the tree. So some of you, this is going to be your partner, whether it's a man or woman, I'm feeling. Wow, whatever comes in suddenly, it's truly a gift. The burdens have really anchored you. For those of you, actually it's all of you. You guys all have something you need to cut away. You've been holding on to something that has been a burden, and it's really got a grip in you because it's in the house of the anchor for you. It's really stuck there. Oh my goodness. Are you ever being told to cut something away here? I'm just going to straight up tell you guys, you Tauruses out there, one thing about Taurus, they're an earth sign, and they're a fixed earth sign. So this is not easy for you to do, because this goes deep into your past. It's been there for a long time in your life. You've got to cut this away, or there will not be new room for this love to come in. The love will come suddenly. It is a destined love, and it is like a past life relationship type of person. Like, the tree is that way as well. The tree for me is very past life. The tree and the cross have some similarities for me, and the cross can be your destiny, but the tree is also, I feel like, there's just that past life connection. This person is really connected to you. It is a destined love, and you just don't see it coming. The clouds and the rider is just like, you don't see it coming. You don't even know this is on its way in. Boy, I think I was really meant to delete that other video. This is a really, really amazing reading. So you've got to make the cut. The cut will actually be a gift. The cut is a gift to you. It doesn't feel like it right now, but you need to do it. And let's see what else happens here. The sun, okay, so any places that have in the past been eating away at you as far as your happiness goes, is now the sun is shining there. So in the past, this burden right here that has been anchoring you, it's also been eating at you. and you've needed to cut it away for some time, and when you do that, then you get this sun shining in. Boy, I wish I had every reading like this. So the Rider, okay, so the Rider is in the house of the clouds. You don't see it coming, or there's confusion around it. It even could be for some of you when the person comes in, you're like a little bit confused, like, oh, but wait a minute, it wasn't supposed to happen like that, right? And then we also see that the clouds, where are the clouds? Okay, so the Rider is in the house of the clouds. The clouds are in the house of the Coffin. The Coffin is where there's been no action, where there's been stagnancy, and where things haven't happened. But then the Rider, the house is in the house of the Rider. So it is coming in quickly, and to dispel the clouds, and the clouds then are connected to stagnancy. So I feel like where things have been stagnant, really what this is saying here, that where you've had stagnancy and where things haven't moved, they're about to start moving. You're just about to have the flow. It's going to affect your home life in a very strong way. And also it's been eating, whatever's been eating at you, the sun will shine when you make the cut. I'm going to pull just a few of these cards, these tarot cards, but I really don't need much more. This story is amazing as it is. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward as I pull these cards. Okay, this is very interesting what came up. First of all, I just get the speed here, and I feel like the back of this Knight of Swords, you're seeing the back of it because you still don't quite see it coming yet, but it is coming in, and that's like the Rider. And there will be, here's the Swords again, it's the Page of Swords, and there will be a lot of, you know, communication messages and things will begin. And in fact, this is almost together they make the Messenger, because the Rider is a messenger. And I think that's what, you know, that's just affirmation there. What I was fascinated by was I ended up getting the backs of almost every single one of these cards. So this is actually you here, Taurus. This is the Queen of Earth, of Pentacles, and we see the back of her. We see the back of the Leo sign. Some of you it might be a Leo for some of you, but we see the back of that is the Strength. Interesting. We see the back of the Seven of Swords. This Seven of Swords to me is this getting away. It's making the cut and running, and it's just going, and it's like not even looking back. See that? You need to get out of there, and you shouldn't look back. I feel like it's connected with this Strength. Like, again, you just, like, don't look back. Don't look back. It's just all over. Like, don't look back. You need to make the cut and don't look back, because there's nothing there for you. And whatever this is that needed to get cut away, you're done. It's over. You need to go and not look back. And then this I'm feeling, I'm just going to put it over here with the house, because this is that fulfillment, that completion, and the family. And we also have this as well. I'm feeling like here we're seeing the back of this because it just hasn't quite come in yet. You know, this is the Four of Wands, by the way, sorry. The Four of Wands, which is moving in together, living together, that partnership, that even marriage or whatever. But it's that true happiness, and this is what you create together. You create this legacy where if you see the back of here, you see the old man, and he's looking at the two young people. But this is like more like in the far distance when you have really created this. This is you, and this is the life that you created together. You've got someone like that destined coming in. And these I thought were interesting too, because I have the Emperor and I have the Two of Wands. But when you look at the backs of both of them, you have kind of very similar picture. You have, you know, the Emperor is holding this magic ball in his hand, and like he can manifest and do and create and make things happen with it. And same here with this guy, this Two of Wands. And I thought this is really made me feel like this sun shining here. That sun is coming in, and you're really seeing the possibilities of what occurs and how that really shifts and changes things for you in your life when you utilize this Emperor. The Emperor goes out and gets things done and makes things happen, and that is like this cutting action. What you need to do to cut this out of your life in order to manifest and bring in what you really truly desire with the sun, the home, the this happy situation with someone who is coming in. All right, so that's all I have for you. Can't say I'm sorry now that that video got deleted. I think that if you did watch both of these, you'll probably concur. Now stay tuned for the timing activity where you can kind of get an idea on how and when this might occur and might unfold in your life. All right, now that we're done with that part of the reading, we're going to go into a fun timing activity that will give you a better idea or a sense of when some of the parts of this reading will unfold for you that resonated most with you. So what I'm going to have you do is think about 4 different time frames that feel the most likely happen with this story. For example, if you're like, I don't really see this happening for at least a couple of months, then pick that as your shortest time frame. But if you're like, yeah, I really could see this happening within the next, 3 weeks or so, then pick that as your earliest time frame. Then pick out your latest time frame, and then pick 2 other time frames in between, whether it's whether it's several weeks or whether it's several months. Assign a time frame to each, your Ace of Diamonds, your Spades, your Clubs, your Hearts, and assign a time frame to each one of those. I'm going to go ahead and do the yes or no answer kind of reading. And at the end of the reading, we're going to end up with 2 yeses and 2 nos. And the 2 yeses are going to be your time frame. Let's go ahead and get right into that one now. Okay, so we now have our 2 yeses, and your timing for your question here is contained in these 2 on the ends. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have. We have the Ace of Spades and the Ace of Diamonds. So whatever your time frame is that you chose, those are your outliers. And let's go ahead and take a look and see what we have coming up here. Well, we do have quite a lot of love on this side here. It does look like this started out with some kind of love relationship, that you will meet someone whether you have met them yet or not. And it does here say that you just really need to take action. So but not to be impulsive, but there is a new commitment, and it is time, you should take action is what's being recommended there. So you meet someone, you should take action, or they should take action, you both should. And be careful though that you don't get into kind of like a funk about things. Like I feel like if there's no action that's taken, like the tendency for that, this is a warning here, because otherwise you can kind of get stuck. And because here is also talks about indecision and a lack of faith, and then having difficulty moving forward in order to achieve change. So it just looks like there's love, but it looks like things are having a hard time getting off the ground because either one or both of you, and there's frustrations because of that, and then some confusion or doubt. And then there's a need to forgive and leave a situation that causes regret. So for some of you, it does feel to me like there, like I said, there was initially someone that you have met. Maybe this has already taken place. You've already met this person. And if things are really stuck and aren't, isn't happening, then what's going to be needed in order for you to move forward and get the love in your life that you really want is to let this go. And remember, and it's a lesson learned. And then it does also, again, talk about obstacles that could stand in the way of your success. and missed opportunities. So make sure you don't have a missed opportunity come up, because then we end up with the King of and the Queen of Spades with the Ace of Spades. Interesting. I think there was a lot of love there because we do have a lot of hearts, but all of the hearts that we do have are in the negative position, like in the reversed position, and have their more negative attributes there. So not that that message is for everyone, but that was there for some people who needed to hear it. Now here's another message about how to move things forward toward your love relationship that I'm assuming is your desire since you are watching this video. All right, so we begin out with some, it does talk about not making any big changes because there's financial difficulties. So, although it does say that there's success in a new enterprise, so I feel like some of you actually may have started a new job, or a new career, or you're an entrepreneur, or there's just something that you have started, the beginning of something, but it's causing some financial strain at first. And then you end up with a joyful outcome after that difficult phase. So things do turn around pretty quickly for you there. And so just really, you know, that there's a lot to be grateful for in that regard. And but it does here talk about feelings of depression and hurt and anger have caused someone to be discouraged. Look past your anxieties because success will be eventual. Now, whether that's kind of in this the beginning here, or if it's kind of like, sometimes I'll read these and I feel like it's not necessarily that this is the order that it happens in, but this is all pieces of advice that need to come forward for some reason. You do end up having new friends and associates, and I do feel like that if you haven't met someone yet, that's possible that it could even come through the workplace. Be careful that you respond quickly to repair your actions if you realize that you have hurt someone, because it could come back to, you know, kind of like a karma situation where it comes back around. Not because, I mean, you're a better person, of course, than doing it just for yourself, but you do need to watch out for things like that, because that energy of putting out something negative, even if it was unintentional, can come back and then make things difficult for you. So just make sure to put that into place. But you do have a feeling of happiness, and fewer problems are coming in regards to money. And then we do also have a matched pair again with the King and the Queen of Clubs. So that's looking good. Anyway, that's a little bit of a reading for your timing on the end of this spread.